All right, welcome back. So, Invasion of Body Snatchers, made in 1956 by Don Siegel. And though it was a low-budget movie, it was a very popular film. It definitely caught on, and Americans loved it. And in some ways, a lot of people have debated whether this movie directly reflected the paranoia of the Red Scare, or perhaps the paranoia of people trying to blame communist leanings on other people. It could go either way. But the reality is, the movie definitely deals with some big issues that those in 1956 were struggling with, at least on perhaps a subconscious or a second layer level. So as you watch this movie, I want you to ask yourself some of those questions. What was America afraid of at this time? What were they dealing with? And as we watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, why is everybody freaking out? What's the big deal about becoming a pod person? No pain, no suffering. Everyone likes you. You get along. But as we see in the movie, the loss of your identity as a human is probably the worst thing that could happen. The loss of your autonomy and your independence, becoming absorbed into a massive collective of people that can't think for themselves. Well, maybe we're dealing with some big issues here. On one side, this definitely could be seen that there was fear. You didn't know if your next door neighbor could be a spy for the communists, for the Russians, maybe. But also, it could be seen as the fact that during this time, with McCarthyism going on and people being called before the House of Un-American Affairs, I think it was HUAC, was the House of Un-American Commission, but nonetheless being called before and asking, are you a true patriot? Do you support America? If you don't believe the way we believe it, then you don't support America. You know what? Perhaps the pods were people trying to force independent thinking into a can. You could look at it in both ways. I'm going to post, and probably by this time as you watch this, it's already posted, a little article I want you to read in that regards. And really, I'll put up on the discussion board to see what you think about it. Now, I know a couple of you out there are going to go, it's just pure entertainment and I don't want to hear about it. There's no secret meaning here. I'm not saying there's a secret meaning. In fact, even Mr. Siegel, the director, there's a great quote in the little reading I'm going to post for you to look at. He says that it wasn't necessarily there any underlying message outside of the fact of be careful. As a human being, you can oftentimes get sucked into things. That's what the director said. Take a look at it and see for yourself. I'd like to hear what you think about it. And really, that is the big assignment for this class. I'm really going to just ask you to write just a brief kind of couple paragraph response, and email that to me, and then kind of just surmise it on the discussion board. I'll write that out for you. But the reality is, I'd like to know what you think. What is Invasion of Body Snatchers all about? How does it reflect its culture? And that's the question I'm going to ask. I'm not saying look for a deep hidden meaning, but I am saying take a moment, think about the culture, think about some of the things I've said, think about some of the things you've studied in your history courses, and ask yourself, how is this movie a product of its era? 20, 30 years from now, we'll be able to look back at the movies of the first decade of the 21st century and be able to go, wow, look, there was a war going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, and there was a horrible financial crisis that happened at the end, and even though that movie, I'm trying to think of a movie that came out, The Dark Knight, it was just pure entertainment. How did it reflect its era? What things were the Joker, what things were the Batman dealing with that reflects its era? And so that's really the question I'm posing to you, because we have some 40, 50 years on 1956 here. actually 52 years now, and we can kind of look at it and observe what was from its era. Alright, sorry, I'm not making any sense right now. Starting to get tired. But, nonetheless, I hope you enjoy the movie. It definitely is enjoyable. And I look forward to hearing your responses here in a moment. And we will talk next week. I'm going to try to post both lectures for next week and the week after next, because I know Christmas will be the following week, and if you guys want to get ahead, you can do that as well. But anyways, if you have any questions, please email me. I always try to get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll go from there. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.